Sakafet YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. Let's cook with me from start to finish. Hello my darlings, it's so nice to have you back here in my kitchen for yet another amazing recipe. Today we're going to be making some slow cooked ribs in the slow cooker, and over here I've got my ribs. I've already cleaned it with some cold water, some lemon juice and some vinegar, and I'm just heavily seasoning it with some salt and black pepper only. Okay, so go ahead and just put a generous amount of salt and pepper on it, mix it in well and coat it in well, and then set it aside for about 10 to 15 minutes. Okay. After about 10 minutes or so, I decided to go ahead and just sear my ribs on all sides. And oh my goodness, guys, it was smelling so good. You would think that I had lots of things in there, but it was just salt and pepper. So go ahead and just put in all your rib pieces in your pan of oil, and then just make sure it's got a beautiful crust on all sides. You know, it'll take a little time. Probably took me about 20 minutes to do this. But yes, darlings, it's so worth it. And I think the flavor is so much better when you do this instead of adding it directly to the slow cooker. Over here, I've got a mix of onions and some peppers and some ginger, and I did go ahead and just chop it up and blend it up, okay, and then I just set it on the side. And yes, darlings, as you can see, the searing is coming along beautifully. We've got some gorgeous color coming in. It's not quite ready yet, so we're just gonna keep on turning the ribs on all sides, and then once it's fully seared, we'll transfer it to that slow cooker. So now that everything has been transferred to my slow cooker, using the same pan, I went in with the blended pepper mix that we had earlier, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and just mix it in well, you know, just to deglaze the pot a bit. Sometimes when people make ribs, they like to add in wines and stuff, but someone requested that I do the recipe without any wines, and this is me cleaning my stove as I go along because I just cannot stand a dirty stove. I'm adding in some all-purpose seasoning in there as well, and some bay leaves, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of mixed herbs. You can add a pinch of salt if you want to, but I feel like I'll add some later if I think it needs it when I'm cooking it. But for now, I'm gonna let that cook down on low for about 15 minutes before transferring it to my ribs, and oh my goodness, it's already looking very nice. It's giving very much African stew. I'm gonna add my Worcester sauce and then some maple syrup because I want to have these ribs a bit sticky and sweet and everything. And then I'm gonna go in with 2 heavy cups of some beef broth and just enough to cover up the ribs. Okay, so this is pretty much how it's looking, and then I'm gonna cover it up right now and let it cook for 5 hours on low heat. I did put this to cook about 12 o'clock, and then I decided to let it cook till about 5 o'clock. Okay, so once it was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I decided to prep the remaining ingredients. So we had our potatoes and our carrots. I'm gonna make some mashed potatoes and carrots to go with this, and yes darlings, very self-explanatory. I'm gonna peel everything, chop everything, prep everything, but remember I only did this about half an hour to an hour before the ribs were ready. Okay. So once my carrots were prepped, I did go in with a little bit of my Spice Jamaica Reggae blend. This is an all-purpose seasoning, okay? And then I also like to go in with a little bit of herbs, and I also add in some butter. But again, check down below for all of my ingredients that I use to make this. And it's just so fragrant, so tasty. I love when I make my veg like this. Honestly, you can't go wrong. So it's been about 4.5 hours, almost 5 hours so far, and I'm gonna check on these, and oh my goodness, came out so beautiful. Our carrots is steaming down on the side as well, and our mashed potatoes is steaming down on the side too. And guys, listen, so good. I'm gonna go ahead and drain off the mashed potatoes after I stir up the carrots. Dinner was just so quick and easy today. Once I checked on my carrots and I was quite happy with the way that it looked, I did go ahead and work on my mashed potatoes. So for the mashed potatoes, you don't need much. Just go ahead and drain off that water first, and then we're gonna add in some butter. We're gonna add in some double cream. Use your masher and mash it in, and then you can just use a flat spatula and then just mix it in, you know, to your preference. You can add as much butter or cream, however smooth or rough you want it. You can literally just make it to your preference. Okay, so once it's fully mashed in and I'm happy, I like to just top it off with some butter, and then I just leave it covered. Okay. At this point, my ribs were ready, and oh my goodness, guys, ooh, look at that. That looks so tasty. It looks so good. I'm gonna go ahead and just take them out of the slow cooker and just put it into a separate bowl, just because I wanted to thicken the gravy a bit. And oh my gosh, guys, when I tell you cannot go wrong, you cannot go wrong. Be very careful, by the way. So transfer it over into a separate bowl. Add a cornstarch and water slurry and whisk that in to make a thicker gravy. Then we're gonna serve that up, okay? So once I've whisked in the cornstarch slurry, I give it about 5 minutes or so, and I just wanted to show you how tender the beef is. But yeah, this is the final plating, all done. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this recipe. So quick and easy to do, and honestly, anyone can make this. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in my next one.